Yeah. So Amazon looking to replace, well, not necessarily replace that they didn't say they're going to replace anybody, but they're looking at the future, and so in the future they're trying to plan for the future, so their sales are going to go up, and so they want to make sure that they have something in place that will help scale. When things scale up, they'll be able to maintain and give people the same service. Um, I don't think it's going to stop there. And of course they're not. They have hundreds of thousands of people, or maybe more than that, working for them already. They've already laid off a lot of people, in the last few years. So why, what I tell y'all that we're gonna replace all of y'all with these robots, to have y'all worried and scared about your jobs. But it's coming. Like, it's for sure gonna get here at some point. Like, a lot of these companies, especially like a technology company, because that's what Amazon is. Um, they look for innovation, and so this is one of those innovative things that they probably might start, at a certain amount of these robots and then scale up and see how things work. But um, like I said, learn AI. Take some type of classes, YouTube University, because somebody has to control these models. The people have to control, like, the robots and things like that. They need people who do that. So, man, go ahead, Cuzzo. I'm gonna jump back in and share. Need to clear my throat over here.
Yeah. Um, you've seen the movie I, Robot. So I was kind of thinking while you was talking, I was like, man, I remember that scene when the main character, Will Smith, was walking through the city. It was basically nothing but robots. And it might have been him and a couple of humans here and there, but everything was being done by robots. Even down to the lady, getting her purse ran out to her for her asthma pump, and then he got tackled because he thought he was stealing the purse. Those things are coming. They want to make the jobs that people have relied on for years and years and years obsolete, because, like you said, it's about innovation. For a lot of these companies, it's about how can I make more money, how can I invest in my company so that I can make more money. And you know for a human, they're going to want more money, they're going to want to be taken care of. They get sick, they call off, they come in late, they steal things. Robots don't do none of that.
They get pregnant, have to take leave.
Yeah, take leave to take care of their children. They want to go on vacation. All I gotta do is robots is update software, update models, not all at the same time, whenever's needed to make more things efficient. And that way the warehouse can be ran so smooth and efficient. Now I gotta do is rely on humans to deliver it sometimes, because now they're gonna be having cars to deliver that stuff. Now I can have people get out and deliver it, but as we see, Tesla has robots. Other company has robots. You'll see, you see the robots, on the west side getting your food delivered to you in those little carts.
Yeah,
We got drones, dropping off packages in remote areas. They're looking for ways to not have to rely on the human, as they used to previously. So whatever you want to do, you can feel threatened, you can feel alarmed. Just take note. Take note. I know a few people that work for Amazon. I don't know if they still work for Amazon, but the stories I hear, it's just like any other warehouse. I think I worked for Amazon briefly 10 years ago when they were first becoming popular,
Mhm.
and it was kind of like the we could have taken over that warehouse, but then of course they put somebody in there that didn't look like us to kind of head it up after doing all the good hard work. So yeah, we didn't stay there long. But I just understand warehouse jobs in general. They're always looking to make things easy, safe, fast, efficient. You use robots, you cut down on safety issues, people don't get hurt, slip and falls. I mean, the list can go on and on. They don't need to take breaks.
Right.
Ain't no 10-minute break, ain't no lunch break. No, here the lights always on, robots always moving. If there's a fault, there's a failure, okay, change it out. There's probably a human come in and change that out, replace them, and then keep going. Send it off to, for repairs or decommission it, whatever you want to look at. But I mean, like I say, man, be aware. I mean, you got to take note. Government shut down, robots taking over here and there. AI is here. Currencies are changing. They're trying to digitize everything. Slowly but surely, things are happening in a way that they're not alarming people, so they're allowing you to be distracted by things, as they always have. That's how they've changed and moved things into position thus far.
Right.
So if people kind of understood that and kind of gave that more attention, and they can kind of figure out, what's happening. They're changing your way of living. Just like before, when we were in high school, when they took out the trades out of high school, we had shop,
Yeah.
mechanics, all that stuff in high school. And I think by the time I got there, it was one more year, and that was it. They took it out,
Yeah.
moved it to college, or moved it to trades, trade tech, or moved it to college, took it away because
Yeah.
you can come out with a trade right out of high school.
Yeah.
Plumbing, carpentry, auto mechanics.
Yeah. I think I took a mechanic class, like
Yeah,
the intro. Yeah.
right. They had
Mm.
home ec. So it's like I always remember that. Like that's like the one thing that stuck out to me. And I kind of did some stuff after high school. I took a carpentry class and I went to LA Job Corps, and I was in like a program for, certain type of job, and it just never really stuck with me. I did it, it was cool. But it's like I think if we was like in high school, like you were taking it as a class, it would have been different. You would
Right.
have had more of us coming out with that skill. And for whatever reason, they didn't want that to happen because they wanted to implement some other stuff. As we see today, why? You know, what's the result of that? We can call it out and call it for what it is. So with these robots, I mean, you can only tell or see what's happening or see what's going to happen
Right.
based on how they change the workforce, how they change the type of work that you can do versus focusing on what they want you to focus on and do. You
Right.
know, so 5, 10 years ago was now let's do online stuff. Let's do um, they call it stuff online with security. So now those jobs are here, but they're not plentiful as they used to be. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah, man. I could see a situation where there's barely anybody in these warehouses. You already see Waymo, right? The self-driving car, that are they're scaling up because I'm starting to see those more and more often, than before. And so that's another industry that's tapping into. But I could see a situation where they got these self-driving vehicles, maybe not Waymo, but maybe a larger vehicle like an Amazon truck, I don't know, that goes to the warehouse. These robots deliver them to the truck, and then somehow, like I don't know what the delivery to the doorstep would be, but that's just one goal that they need to meet is how would they get delivered to the actual doorstep? Because if you have a self-driving vehicle, the vehicle could deliver them to the house, and then you have to figure out, okay, how do you get them to the door? I could see a situation where you don't really need people, and as you stated, so eloquently, the goal of a company is to make money. Nobody goes into business. Yeah, they might go into business because they love what they do, but the goal is to make money. And so if you could like increase those margins, I don't know if you caught in the video, but they said they could save 30 cents on each package that they deliver by implementing these robots. And I'm curious, how many packages do you think Amazon, let me see, delivers a day? I'm gonna see if Gemini knows. Amazon deliver daily. It may not know the answer. Okay, worldwide daily packages estimate for Amazon's global daily package volume generally range from 20 to 25 million. All right. So just say we'll go on the low end calculator. So 30 cents times 20 million. That's $6 million. So they could save $6 million a day by implementing these robots. That's that's 2.1 billion a year that they could save by implementing this. Why not? I mean, if I was them, I would do it. You muted yourself, cuz I think.
Yeah, that's how you make money for the company. That's how you make money for your shareholders. That's how the stock goes up. All those factors.